Garden Elixirs, homemade recipes for organic garden care. Welcome to Buckeye Bloomstead, your ultimate destination for gardening inspiration and tips. Today, we're excited to share with you some powerful homemade recipes that will transform your garden into a thriving oasis. From natural insect repellents to nutrient-rich fertilizers, these garden elixirs are simple, effective, and eco-friendly. Be sure to watch this video to learn how you can access all the recipes we've highlighted free of charge, all in one PDF for you to print out and use. This way, you can relax and enjoy the video without the need to take notes. So let's dive in. As we embark on this journey to create effective elixirs for our gardens, it's paramount to remember the delicate balance of nature. Beneficial insects such as bees, ladybugs, and butterflies play crucial roles in our ecosystem. Bees, with their tireless work ethic, pollinate our flowers and crops, ensuring that we have bountiful harvests. Ladybugs, those tiny warriors, keep our plants healthy by feasting on aphids and other harmful pests. And butterflies, with their graceful dance, not only pollinate, but also add to the beauty of our gardens. When we use our homemade elixirs, we must ensure they are carefully targeted towards the destructive insects that threaten our plants, sparing these invaluable allies. By doing so, we protect the harmony of our gardens and nurture the intricate web of life that sustains us all. While we have made every effort to provide effective elixirs to manage various garden conditions, it is crucial to apply any homemade concoction or store-bought product properly. Although we inspect our gardens during the day when the leaves are dry and visibility is good, the timing of application is essential. We recommend applying any product in the evening after inspecting the garden when the sun is no longer intense and temperatures have cooled. This practice protects plants from being burned by the sun, which can intensify the effects of anything sprayed on the leaves. Additionally, many insects become more active in the evening and nighttime hours, making this an optimal time for treatment. Most importantly, applying elixirs in the evening minimizes the risk of deterring bees and other pollinators from assisting your garden, as they are not active during this time. We also adhere to a policy of never spraying blooms, except when absolutely necessary to address severe insect infestations, to avoid harming pollinators who depend on these flowers. Applying elixirs in the evening thus helps safeguard these invaluable garden allies. Moreover, while we strive to provide safe and effective garden elixirs, we encourage everyone to research and verify any homemade recipe to ensure it is suitable for their specific garden conditions. Although these recipes have worked for us, results can vary due to numerous factors. Ultimately, our goal is to offer safer, less toxic, and more cost-effective solutions to your garden challenges. Starting off with our favorite pest control elixirs. Since millennium, there has been a battle between gardeners and those non-beneficial pests in the garden. These tiny invaders can wreak havoc on our beloved plants, devouring leaves, stems, and even roots. Traditional chemical insecticides can harm beneficial insects and the environment. That's where natural solutions come in. With most homemade sprays, many of the solutions we use on our plants to keep pests at bay, we reapply generally every week, especially after it rains. So, let's start with an all-natural insect repellent. This natural insect repellent recipe uses garlic, which is a powerful insect deterrent. You will find this recipe to be very quick and easy. Here's what you'll need. Ingredients: 2 bulbs of garlic, 1 liter of water, which is equivalent to almost 34 fluid ounces, US. If you're looking for a smaller quantity, you could use approximately 500 milliliters, which is about 16.9 ounces, for a half-liter recipe. Then just half the rest of the ingredients for a smaller batch. In addition to the 2 bulbs of garlic, you will need 1 teaspoon of dish soap. We prefer the regular Blue Dawn dish soap, but really, any dish soap will do. Also, if you are using a more concentrated Dawn product, we would suggest going with a half of a teaspoon of Dawn or even less. The goal of the dish soap is to help the elixir to coat the insects, making it more effective in eliminating them and much more difficult for them to survive the treatment. It also helps to attach the elixir better to the leaves of the plant. But you don't want to use too much soap. More is not better in this case. Instructions. Let's start by peeling your garlic bulbs. Peel and chop your garlic bulbs into fine pieces. You can even use a blender for this recipe if it makes the job easier for you. Now take your garlic and mix it with 1 liter of water until smooth. Next, be sure to strain this mixture so that you are left with just the liquid and pour it into a spray bottle. Then add a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of dish soap. Then gently shake it to mix it up. Once your mixture is ready, spray the solution on your plants to keep pests at bay. Be sure to spray under the leaves where many insects like to hide, and also around the base of each plant to deter insects that may be lurking just below the surface. For best results, reapply every week, especially if you have had a chronic pest problem, and reapply after it rains. We prefer to use this elixir when we observe that beneficial insects, which naturally control destructive pests, are unable to keep up. Now here is another elixir that will help you say goodbye to aphids and scale insects naturally. Effortlessly remove aphids and scale insects from your plants with these simple and natural remedies. Gardening enthusiasts know the joy of maintaining a vibrant garden full of plants, but unwanted pests like aphids and scale insects can quickly become a nuisance. While many turn to costly chemical solutions, these can be harmful to the environment, plant health, and personal well-being over time. To avoid using harmful chemicals, try these homemade, cost-effective remedies that are easy to prepare. These natural tricks can help keep pests and powdery mildew at bay, preserving the lushness of your garden and the balance of your home ecosystem. Discovering how to protect your plants and maintain the most beautiful garden in your neighborhood with these natural methods will save you time, money, and aggravation. You won't regret it. Here are some other DIY solutions. Garlic and onion mixture for aphids and powdery mildew. Start with 1.5 liters of water, or 3.17 pints. Now add 50 grams of garlic, or about 1/4 cup. Add 25 grams of onions, or 1/8 cup finely chopped onions. Add ingredients to the water and put it on the stove to boil for 20 minutes. Let it cool, then strain so that the chunks are removed from the elixir, leaving just the garlic and onion-infused liquid. After you have strained the mixture, and after it has completely cooled, transfer the elixir to a spray bottle without diluting it. Apply it during the cool part of the evening, being sure to also spray under the leaves where possible. Our next elixir is for our Marseille Soap Solution, which is effective against plant lice, aphids, scale insects, and other soft-bodied insects. Ingredients. You will need 100 grams, approximately 2/3 cup, of grated Marseille soap, along with 1 liter, approximately 1 quart, of water. You are probably asking, why Marseille soap? Marseille soap is often called for in garden elixirs instead of other natural soaps due to its unique properties and traditional formulation. Here are the reasons why Marseille soap is favored. Composition. Marseille soap is made from vegetable oils, primarily olive oil, and does not contain synthetic additives, dyes, or perfumes. This makes it gentle on plants while still being effective against pests. Its main ingredient, potassium salt of fatty acids, is known for its insecticidal properties. Insecticidal properties. The soap works by breaking down the protective coating of insects, like aphids and scale insects, causing them to dehydrate and die. It also helps in cleaning and disinfecting the leaves, which can reduce the likelihood of fungal infections. Eco-friendly and biodegradable. Marseille soap is completely biodegradable and eco-friendly, making it safe for use in the garden without harming the environment. This is particularly important for maintaining the health of beneficial insects and the overall ecosystem. Versatility. Apart from its use as an insecticide, Marseille soap has various other uses in the garden, such as cleaning plant leaves and acting as an adhesive for other treatments. Its ability to form a protective layer on the leaves helps in shielding plants from further pest attacks. Overall, the traditional and natural composition of Marseille soap, combined with its effective pest control and environmental safety, makes it a preferred choice for garden elixirs. If you're looking to create a natural insecticide, using Marseille soap can provide a balanced approach to protecting your plants while ensuring the well-being of your garden ecosystem. Instructions. Grate the soap. Start by grating 100 grams of Marseille soap into fine flakes. Dissolve the soap. Heat 1 liter of water until it's warm but not boiling. Add the grated soap to the water and stir until completely dissolved. You now have a concentrated soap elixir, which will need to be diluted for use. So once dissolved, you can store the solution to use later on. Once the soap is fully dissolved, let the mixture cool down and pour it into a closed bottle for storage. Dilution. Before use, you will need to dilute the concentrated soap solution that you stored. When ready to use, dilute the concentrated soap solution by mixing 1 part of the soap solution with 10 parts of water. This ensures it's gentle enough for your plants. Application. Spray the plants in the evening when all threat of the day's intense sun and heat has dissipated. Using a spray bottle, apply the diluted solution to your plants. Be sure to spray under the leaves where many insects like to hide. Also, spray around the base of each plant to deter insects hiding just below the surface. Reapply as needed. For best results, reapply the solution every week and after it rains, especially if you have a chronic pest problem. Note: this soap solution is effective against soft-bodied insects like aphids, whiteflies, and thrips. It is very important to use the solution only in the evening when beneficial insects like bees are less active to avoid harming them and burning your plants. Now, before we go any further, we felt the need to provide kind of a public service announcement: the use of vinegar in the garden. At Buckeye Bloomstead, we are committed to providing accurate and safe gardening advice to our valued viewers. Recently, we encountered a recipe suggesting the use of vinegar to control garden pests like aphids, scale insects, and ants. We use a vinegar elixir to help kill weeds in our walkways and gravel areas. So, when we received a suggestion to feature an elixir in this video that contains vinegar, it sent up a red flag for us. After thorough research and careful consideration, we decided not to include this recipe in our video due to the potential risks it poses to plants. And here's why we decided against using vinegar, except for killing weeds. Vinegar, while effective at killing weeds, can also cause significant damage to your garden plants. Its high acidity can burn plant tissues, leading to leaf damage and stunted growth. This risk is particularly high if vinegar is not properly diluted or applied incorrectly. Since our goal here on the Buckeye Bloomstead channel is to help you cultivate a thriving garden, not to inadvertently harm your plants. Our commitment to you. We strive to ensure that all the information we provide is safe, reliable, and beneficial. When we encounter a method or recipe that raises concerns, we choose to exclude it from our content. This diligence is part of our commitment to you, our viewers, to provide only the best and safest gardening practices. So here is a word of caution. If you come across recipes or advice recommending the use of vinegar in your garden, please think twice before using it, unless your goal is to kill weeds. Vinegar can do more harm than good. Always research and verify any gardening tips you find online or in videos, including ours, to ensure they are appropriate for your garden. We will provide a weed-killing elixir later on in the video using vinegar. Your garden's health is our priority. We encourage you to continue your gardening journey with confidence, knowing that we have your best interests at heart. By choosing safe, effective methods, you can maintain a beautiful, healthy garden. Remember, when in doubt, leave it out. And as always, we are here to provide you with accurate, research-backed gardening solutions. And now, before we continue with the rest of the video, we want to take a moment to thank you for entrusting Buckeye Bloomstead with your gardening needs. Together, we can nurture our gardens with both care and knowledge. If you haven't yet joined our community, we warmly invite you to become a part of the Buckeye Bloomstead family by subscribing. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon, you not only show YouTube that you appreciate our content, but you also help spread the word to others who could benefit from our videos. We also encourage you to leave a comment below and share what topics you'd like to see us cover. Your ideas and feedback are invaluable to us. Let's continue this journey together, cultivating beautiful and thriving gardens. Now on with more elixirs for the garden. Next is our Neem Oil Elixir to combat aphids and other pests on both plants and trees. This Neem Oil Elixir is a well-known natural pesticide that is safe for most plants and fruit trees when used with caution, ensuring the protection of beneficial insects. We primarily use it for our fruit trees, as neem oil is an excellent natural solution for managing pests and diseases. However, similar to our earlier discussion on the potential risks of using vinegar in the garden and our decision to exclude that recipe, it is crucial to ensure neem oil or any other pest control method is applied safely to protect beneficial insects. Here's how it helps and how you can use it effectively. First, let's discuss the benefits of neem oil. Pest control. Neem oil effectively controls a wide variety of pests, including aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, caterpillars, and Japanese beetles. It works by disrupting the life cycle of insects, preventing them from feeding, laying eggs, or growing into adults. When using neem oil to control caterpillars, it's important to first identify the type of caterpillars in your garden. Butterfly caterpillars, like those of the monarch or swallowtail, are beneficial and should be protected. However, caterpillars like the tomato hornworm, cabbage looper, and gypsy moth caterpillar can be destructive and should be managed. Tomato hornworms, for instance, can devastate your tomato plants by eating through leaves and stems, while cabbage loopers create holes in cabbage leaves and other brassicas. Gypsy moth caterpillars are known for defoliating trees, which can severely damage your garden. By identifying and targeting the harmful caterpillars, you can use neem oil effectively without harming the beneficial ones. Destructive caterpillars will indeed weaken trees and other plants, which in turn making them susceptible to diseases and other pests. Did you know that there is an easy way to finding tomato hornworms? Many of us know the difficulties spotting the nefarious tomato hornworm. They are almost impossible to see, especially on a bright sunny day. Well, we have an easy way to find those destructive pests. To locate tomato hornworms, you can use a portable handheld black light at night. Hornworms glow under black light, making them easier to spot amidst the foliage. These black lights, which run on batteries, can be found by searching online or in pet stores, as they are often used to locate pet urine stains on carpets. Simply shine the black light on your tomato plants, and any hornworms present will light up, allowing you to remove them before they cause further damage. This method is highly effective, especially if you're having trouble spotting these well-camouflaged pests during the day. By taking the time to identify the caterpillars in your garden, you can use neem oil effectively and responsibly, ensuring that you protect beneficial insects while targeting those that are harmful. Although you will find instructions on the packaging of neem oil suggest applying it in the early morning hours or at night, we always elect to apply our neem oil in the evening when pollinators are less active to minimize any potential impact on them, and to avoid any damage from the sun coming in contact with the neem oil on the plants before it has had a chance to dry. The most important tip when using neem oil is to always take the time to identify what's in your garden before spraying to prevent causing more harm than good. Fungal and bacterial diseases. Neem oil also helps manage fungal and bacterial diseases such as powdery mildew, black spot, apple scab, and fire blight. It does so by inhibiting the growth and spread of these pathogens on the plant surfaces. Neem oil is considered eco-friendly. Unlike many chemical pesticides, neem oil is biodegradable and less harmful to the environment. It does not persist in the soil or water, making it a safer choice for organic gardening. Safe for beneficial insects. When applied correctly being the key word here, neem oil has minimal impact on beneficial insects like bees, ladybugs, and earthworms. This makes it an ideal solution for integrated pest management. Neem oil can indeed be used for both trees and garden plants with the same dilution, making it a versatile solution for various types of vegetation. Although you will want to follow the directions on the bottle of your neem oil, the typical dilution ratio for neem oil is about 1 to 2 tablespoons of neem oil per gallon of water, plus a few drops of liquid dish soap to help emulsify the mixture. This ratio works well for both fruit trees and garden plants. So, prepare a solution by mixing 1 to 2 teaspoons of neem oil with 1 gallon of water. Add a few drops of liquid dish soap to help the oil mix with water. Application. Time of day. Apply neem oil later in the evening to avoid leaf burn and minimize exposure to pollinators. Method. Use a garden sprayer to apply the solution to the entire tree, including leaves, top and underside, stems, branches, and fruit. This thorough coverage ensures that pests and diseases are effectively targeted. The sprayer can also be used for the rest of the garden as well, but do try to avoid spraying directly on blooming flowers that pollinators feed from. Spraying the neem oil in the evening will hopefully allow the mixture by the following day before pollinators are out and about. Frequency. As a preventative measure, you spray neem oil every 7 to 14 days. For active infestations, spray every 7 days until the pests are under control. In our garden, we generally will not spray until we start to see possible destructive insect activity. It is up to you, however, what works best for your garden. Precautions. As mentioned earlier, avoid spraying neem oil on flowers in full bloom to protect pollinators. For trees, it doesn't hurt to test a small area of the tree first to ensure there is no adverse reaction. By incorporating neem oil into your gardening routine, you can protect your fruit trees from a variety of pests and diseases while maintaining an eco-friendly approach. Remember, consistency and proper application are key to achieving the best results. However, as with our other elixirs, we recommend you only apply this in the evening and try to avoid spraying the blooms of flowers pollinators feed from. Using neem oil in your garden does require careful consideration to ensure the safety of beneficial insects like bees. Neem oil is effective against many garden pests. We know many of our viewers are worried about protecting our bees and other pollinators. So here are a few more key points on neem oil and bees. Potential risks. Neem oil can be harmful to bees if they come into direct contact with it. That is all the more reason to use this elixir in the evening after pollinators have stopped feeding. The primary active ingredient in neem oil, azadirachtin, can interfere with the bees' nervous systems and life cycle, particularly if they ingest pollen contaminated with neem oil. So if it is properly applied, the risk is very minimal. And remember, follow proper application. To minimize the risk to bees, neem oil should be applied in the evening when bees are less active. Avoid spraying neem oil on blooming plants, as bees are attracted to flowers for nectar and pollen. Targeted use. Applying neem oil directly to the areas infested with pests rather than the entire plant can also help reduce the exposure to beneficial insects. Additionally, using soil drenches can limit the contact bees have with the treated areas, since they do not typically interact with soil. Okay, now I know you probably just asked, what is soil drenching? Well, here is what soil drenching means. Neem oil can be used as a soil drench to target soil-borne pests and diseases. Mix the same dilution of neem oil and water, then pour it around the base of the plants. This allows the roots to absorb the neem oil, providing systemic protection against pests. DIY mosquito trap, an effective natural solution to eliminate mosquitoes. Experience peaceful nights again with this effective DIY mosquito trap. Keep watching to learn how to create one at home using natural ingredients and enjoy efficient, chemical-free mosquito control. Summer brings warm sunshine and fun vacations, but it also brings pesky mosquitoes. Whether you're in your garden, at the beach, or hiking in the mountains, mosquitoes can be a common nuisance. Fortunately, a simple, homemade mosquito trap can provide relief without the need for harsh chemicals using an easy-to-make mosquito trap. Creating the trap. This mosquito trap leverages the attractive power of fermentation gases from sugar and yeast to lure mosquitoes. Here's how to make it. Ingredients and tools needed: 200 milliliters of water, 50 grams of brown sugar, 1 gram of brewer's yeast, an empty 2-liter soda bottle, knife or scissors, tape. Instructions: prepare the bottle. Cut a plastic bottle in half just above the middle to prepare for the trapping solution. Keep both the top and bottom parts. Invert the top part of the bottle and place it inside the bottom part, forming a funnel. Mix the ingredients. Heat the water until it's warm but not boiling. Add the brown sugar and stir until it dissolves. Let the mixture cool down below 30 degrees. You can speed up the cooling process by placing it in the fridge. Pour the cooled syrup into the lower half of the bottle and add the brewer's yeast without stirring. Assemble the trap. Place the top half of the bottle, funnel, inside the bottom half with the neck facing down. Secure the two halves together with tape to ensure they stay in place. Placement and maintenance. Place the trap in areas where mosquitoes are prevalent. The mosquitoes will enter the top upper portion of the bottle, climb down past the neck of the bottle, and be unable to escape. The fermentation is what attracts them to the trap, so be sure not to sit it right next to where you are occupying. Place it adjacent to it so the mosquitoes go to the trap. For broader coverage, set up multiple traps around the area you are in. Refresh the syrup every 2 weeks, or when bubbles no longer form, indicating the end of fermentation. This natural trap is not only effective but also environmentally friendly, offering a non-invasive way to manage mosquitoes. By following these steps, you can create an effective mosquito trap that helps you enjoy your summer without the constant annoyance of mosquito bites. The next elixir is one of our favorites, a homemade fertilizer elixir. In this recipe, you will need banana peels, eggshells, and coffee grounds. This recipe makes a nutrient-rich homemade fertilizer using common kitchen scraps. With this recipe, you will need to dehydrate the banana peels and eggshells. This is an easy process if you have a dehydrator oven. It can also be dried using a regular oven by simply setting your oven to a low temperature, around 150 to 200 degrees or 65 to 95 degrees Celsius. The low temperature ensures the banana peels dry out without burning. To prepare the banana peels, simply peel the bananas and cut the peels into smaller pieces. This will help them dry more evenly and quickly. Arrange peels on a baking sheet by placing banana peel pieces in a single layer on a baking sheet. Make sure they are not overlapping. Check the peels every 30 minutes and flip them over to ensure even drying. The total drying time can take 2 to 3 hours, depending on the thickness of the peels and the oven's temperature. Check for crispness. The peels are done when they are completely dry and crispy. If they still feel soft or pliable, leave them in the oven for a bit longer. After they are dry, you can grind them up in a blender. Just make sure to allow the dried banana peels to cool completely before crushing them for the recipe. Banana peels can also be dehydrated using a food dehydrator. Simply follow the instructions that came with your dehydrator. Like the oven, you will want to use a low temperature when dehydrating. Next, you will need to dry the eggshells. Place the cleaned eggshells on a baking sheet in a single layer. Using your kitchen oven or even a toaster oven, put the shells on a baking sheet on a low temperature, around 150 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 to 95 degrees Celsius. Allow the eggshells to bake for about 20 to 30 minutes. Check for dryness. The eggshells should be completely dry and brittle. If they are not dry enough, leave them in the oven for another 15 minutes at a time until dry. Cool and store. Let the dried eggshells cool completely before crushing or grinding them into a fine powder. Store the powder in an airtight container once they are completely cooled and made into a fine powder. Many people may think that you don't have to dehydrate the shells to use them. Although true, there is a reason they should be dehydrated. Here are why dehydrated eggshells is better for the garden. Dehydrated eggshells enhance the availability of calcium to be utilized by the plants. Not dehydrating the shells takes a very long time to break down enough for the plant to benefit by the calcium. And although the process of dehydrating or baking the eggshells doesn't change their chemical makeup, it does allow the calcium to be more readily accessible in several ways. Improved breakability. Dehydrating eggshells makes them brittle and easier to crush into a fine powder. The smaller the particle size, the quicker the calcium and other minerals are released into the soil, making them available for plant uptake. Coarsely ground eggshells take much longer to break down and release their nutrients compared to finely ground ones. Coarsely ground shells are great for taking care of slugs and other soft-bodied insects. It unfortunately takes forever to break down to be of any real benefit to the plants, other than keeping some insects away. Enhanced decomposition. So when eggshells are baked or dehydrated, the process helps to sanitize them, removing any potential pathogens. It also speeds up the breakdown process significantly once they are added to the soil or compost. This is because the heat treatment helps to weaken the structural integrity of the shells, making it easier for soil microbes to decompose them and release the calcium. Chemical reaction with acids. Dehydrated and powdered eggshells can react more readily with soil acids, which facilitates the conversion of calcium carbonate, the primary component of eggshells, into forms of calcium that plants can easily absorb. In summary, dehydrating eggshells enhances their usability in the garden by making it easier to grind them into a fine powder, which increases the speed and efficiency of calcium release into the soil. This process supports better plant health by ensuring that calcium is readily available to strengthen cell walls, improve growth, and prevent deficiencies. Now mix the powder in with the coffee grounds. Then add your banana powder to the mix. Once mixed, sprinkle this mixture around the base of your plants. You can use a fine colander or Old Spice bottle for ease of applying around your plants. This dry mixture is in Thea brillians. It's packed with potassium, calcium, and nitrogen, which are essential nutrients for healthy plant growth. Now, how about making some tea for your garden? Our DIY compost tea is our next elixir. Compost tea is a fantastic way to boost your garden's fertility, and it is beyond easy to make. To make it, you'll need the following. Ingredients: 1 part finished compost. If you don't have your own finished compost, you can also use organic compost you can purchase at your local nursery or big box store. You will also need 5 parts water. Instructions: fill a large bucket with 1 part finished compost and 5 parts water. Stir the mixture. Lightly cover it with some sort of screen, loose-fitting lid. Be sure to put it out of the way of children or animals. Once it is stirred well, let it steep for 24 to 48 hours. Strain the liquid to remove solids. Use the tea to water your plants. Compost tea is rich in beneficial microbes and nutrients that will help your garden thrive. You will be amazed how well this works. Now for our Epsom Salt Plant Booster Elixir. Epsom salt is a great way to give your plants a magnesium boost. Here's a simple recipe. Your ingredients are 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt, 1 gallon of water. Instructions: dissolve 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt in 1 gallon of water. Use this solution to water your plants once a month. It helps improve flower blooming and enhances the green color of your plants. DIY vinegar herbicide. Now here is a recipe using vinegar for killing weeds we promised to provide earlier in the video. Be careful when spraying this mixture, since if you are spraying when there is a breeze, you could inadvertently spray what you did not mean to treat. Overspray will kill grass and other plants, so just be mindful of that on those breezy days. So, for this natural weed killer, vinegar is highly effective. You'll need the following. Ingredients: 1 gallon of white vinegar, 1 cup of salt, 1 tablespoon of dish soap. Instructions: mix 1 gallon of white vinegar with 1 cup of salt and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. As we mentioned earlier in the video, we like just the regular Dawn, but any dish soap will do. You can go to the dollar store if you wish to save money and pick up a bottle of dish soap. Our local dollar stores even carry small bottles of Dawn. So, after you combine the white vinegar, salt, dish soap, and water, pour the elixir into a spray bottle or one of those garden sprayers you pump up the container on. Be sure to mark your spray bottle or container that this is weed killer, so you don't use it where you did not intend. Don't ask me how I know this. Goes to show, no matter how long we have gardened, we still make mistakes. But we try to learn from them so they don't happen again. There's nothing worse than spraying your prized tomato plant with what you thought was simply a bottle of water, to find out you just murdered it using a bottle containing vinegar. This elixir can be sprayed directly on weeds, being careful to avoid your desirable plants. This solution works best on hot, sunny days. Soak them good, and within hours, you will literally start seeing results. Repeat as needed. Great for using in and around walkways, along fence lines to avoid having to weed, gravel areas, etc. It is cheap to make, even by today's standards, and will not hurt pets or humans, unlike the commercial products on the market today that have been linked to cancer. Let us know how you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more like it. We have many more elixir recipes that we couldn't fit into this one video. If you're interested in obtaining a PDF copy of the Elixirs featured here, simply subscribe, like our video, and email us at buckeyebloomstead@gmail.com. In the subject line, type Garden Elixirs or something similar. Rest assured, we value your privacy and will never share your information. Please avoid posting your email address in the comments to protect your privacy. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable content and spread the word to others who can benefit from our videos. Please leave a comment below with any topics you'd like us to cover. We love hearing your ideas.